Now, 7, 8, and 9 are adding a couple more steps to the process, but it's still following the same setup. Meaning, pieces inside the square root sign stay together, pieces outside stay together. So for example, on number 7, this square root 3, because it's inside our square root sign, it's only going to be multiplied by the number inside the square root sign here and here. This 2 will be left alone. So when I distribute this to both terms, this becomes 2 square root 18 minus square root 9. So from here, I can pull this apart and say square root of 9 times square root of 2. This can become just 3. My 2 is still brought down. Now from here, the square root of 9 is 3, so I would do 2 times 3 for my value outside of my square root sign. My square root of 2, this is as far as it can be simplified, so it would be 6 square root 2 minus 3, and I leave it here because these are not like terms. I cannot combine my 6 and my negative 3 because the square root of 2 is still attached to the 6. Number 8, same idea. Pieces inside of the square root signs can be combined, pieces outside can be combined, but we cannot overlap. So I would never do my 4 out here times my 10 inside of here. It's the 4 times the 3 times the negative 9, and the 2 times the 10 times the 5. Again, the concept of like terms is key here. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then 12 times 9 is going to be negative 108. That is my value outside of the square root sign. Inside the square root sign, I have 2 times 10, which is 20, times 5 is going to be 100. So then I have negative 108 square root 100. Well, the square root of 100 is 10, so I would do negative 108 times 10 to get my final answer, which can be ultimately simplified to negative 1080. Finally, I have 6 times the square root of 6 square root 6 times square root 8 divided by 2. Again, I am only combining terms that are like terms. So the 6 and the 2 being outside of our square root sign, these two can be combined, which 6 divided by 2 can give us an answer of 3. Square root 8 and square root 6 are both inside of the square root signs, so these two are combined by multiplying, so I would have 3 square root 48. And from here, I'm going to simplify the square root 48 as far down as I can. Again, I'm looking for perfect squares, and here I could do square root of 16 times square root of 3 to get a value of 48 total. And square root of 16 can be simplified as 4. So I would do 3 times 4, which is 12, and the square root of 3 is as simplified as it can be, so 12 square root 3 is the final answer for this problem.